Good morning, Detroit. Like so many of you, I was raised to believe that if I got good grades and kept the people around me satisfied and followed the path that the world had deemed most appropriate, that I would achieve all of my dreams and find happiness. I believed that if I checked all of the boxes of life, job, degree, job, moving up the ladder, buying a house, buying a car, becoming a boss babe, that I would find happiness at the end of that checklist. And I had all of my self-worth tied up in those check boxes. And I had all of my self-worth tied up in living the path most righteous according to the world. And in living my entire life like a to-do list, I lost myself because taking care of myself was nowhere on that list. I had a therapist ask me once, what are the 5 most important things in your life? And I listed them, I handed them back. She looked at me and she said, you're not on that list. It's kind of heavy. And in March of 2020, there was a pandemic, you may recall, and it began, yeah. And I looked at all of those check boxes, and they were all shattered. And I had a very sneaking suspicion deep down that I didn't really want to put them back together. And I was faced with an opportunity. An opportunity is the word I use for when your entire life falls apart and you have to rebuild it from the ground up. That's a unique and fun opportunity to reflect on everything that I had done in my life. And I looked and I had checked all the boxes, and yet happiness had not overcome my life. And it dawned on me that everything is made up. That those check boxes that I thought had all the answers were made up. And the way that other people made me feel about myself, that was made up by them. And the way that I was racing through my life on the timeline I thought I had to live my life on was made up by the people around me, my family, my friends, my peers, the internet, social media, traditional media, books, literature, everything around me. But what I had based my entire life on wasn't made up by me. And through a lot of existential crisis, crying, lying around, feeling like this was the end because everything I had ever known had just fallen apart, I discovered that I could make up my own rules for my own life. And you can make up your own rules for your own life. And I was changing my life every single day, and I was deconstructing everything I had ever thought to be true. And I decided to post online. And somebody asked me yesterday, what made you start posting online? And I said, why did you start posting online? And I said, why not? Why not me? And I posted 30 seconds by 30-second video at a time, deconstructing each piece of my life in front of the world. And I created a community of people online who wanted to recover from a lifetime of living through that hustle culture and a lifetime of exhaustion and trying to keep up with the whoever's. And this community of people and myself, we wanted to find happiness. I never planned to be a content creator, but there I was, a content creator. And it's a big responsibility to have influence. And here I am online with millions of followers, asking the world to take care of itself, which is something I couldn't imagine 3 years ago. And I'm asking you here today to take care of yourself and put yourself first in your own life. Oh, and have you ever worried about what other people thought of you? I sure not. Not. Spoiler alert, everybody worries about what other people think of them, but it has nothing to do with you. Everything. Oh, thank you. And I want to ask you to start. I spent so much of my life so worried about making people cringe at the way I existed. And when I started to live for myself, put myself first, and actually consider what I wanted in my life, nothing terrible happened. Doors opened. My life flourished. I'm in these rooms. And that was all just doing what I wanted to do. And so I ask you to make them cringe. Don't let the world dictate how excited you get when you hear a bubblegum pop song, and don't let the world dictate how excited you get out loud in front of people about a fandom or a video game, anything that you just feel so passionate about. Make them cringe. I'm going to leave you with a list of the list of the only things that I know are true in this world. Nothing is ever perfect, but something always happens. This is your life. It's really easy to forget that this is your life. You get to come first. You are your only guarantee in this world. You do not have to have it all together. You do not have to know what comes next. You do not have to have anything figured out. You're not less than when you're lost. There's no such thing actually as lost. That's just living. Life is very hard and confusing, more so than anybody will let on. There will never be enough time, and nobody has any of the answers. Thank you for your time, Detroit. This was Make Them Cringe, and I'm Anna Przybylski.